This is a full-time job. If you are good enough to join our team, we will train you and support you. I train salespeople all over the world, and I'm ready to help you become a top multimedia specialist with the Miller Media Group. Previous sales experience is a plus, but not a requirement. But a long-term career is. Are you looking for us? Send your resume to sales@randyradio.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Thanks for coming in and talking with us. And I think the big question is, Stephanie, you know, we've talked for a couple of years now about this ongoing State Fire Marshal's office issue. What's the latest?
The latest is that we finally have an approved plan from the Office of State Fire Marshal. Mm-hmm. So that is very good. So, they had to go back and forth. There was a lot of back and forth between the architect and the fire marshal's office to determine what they wanted done. Mm-hmm. And so we're glad it's done. But unfortunately, or maybe better for us, if a fire would happen, is that the design is maybe more complicated or requires more work than the architect had thought and previously.
Really?
A year ago or so.
Well, let's go back a couple of years now. I can't believe we're embarking on the 2-year marker of this.
It is.
Yeah, because I remember we had this conversation either right before or right after Apple and Pork when we started talking about this. So we're coming up on almost 2 years. Hard to believe. Take us back 2 years ago. What happened? How did we get here?
2 years ago, we had our biannual fire marshal inspection, and it was a different fire marshal than usual. Our previous one, who had inspected us since the 90s, I believe, had retired. And so we had a new person came in, and then he saw our old DeWitt County cattle auction house and went, whoa, hold on here. And so then he left, and he brought back, 5 more fire marshals a month later, the beginning of August 2 years ago. And he... and they all went, whoa. And some of them loved the thrift store, thought it was great. And then they also did not like the fact that it was agricultural buildings don't have to be designed or, fit any codes when it was built. So they changed our ranking, or I can't even think what it's called right now, but we were like a business before, and then they changed that all into
your designation.
Split us up into several different things for our landscape business, our store business, the warehouse. So that created some issues, and it came back with a letter with pages and pages of things that needed mitigated.
Man, so here we are. So let's kind of revisit some of the steps that you've taken in this couple of years. Where did you start? And, what have you done to kind of figure out, okay, what's our plan? How do we attack this? Let's kind of go over some of those things for a review.
Right. Okay. Well, we started with taking care of the things we knew we could take care of. The small things on the list, some lights out maybe on on an exit sign, that kind of thing, and some other, easy things to take care of. And then also on that list, it had us contact an architect. So that started out with finding architect. And so we ended up with AEX, Architectural Expressions, down in Decatur, and they have been fantastic to work with, and very patient with us, and went over and over what we had expected this to be. We expected it to be pretty short, and it's ended up being 2 years.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Best laid plans, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they got those first plans, I'm about ready to roll away. Sorry, video people.
It's crazy how
it's
like slippery those things are.
I'm
yeah.
very
I sat over there for the first time in forever, and I was like, wow, I'm really kind of sliding all over the place. So I feel you. I've always wondered, why are my guests so antsy over there?
Because you need different stools.
Yeah, I think we need the mats underneath them.
Maybe that would help.
Yeah, I think the carpet would hold them in place. Anyways, that took a slide, or took a side turn I was not anticipating. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, back on track here. So go ahead.
Yeah. So then we got the plan so we could at least we really needed, the big thing that we needed was a new fire alarm system. Our fire alarm system was janky, to put it nicely. It was bad and needed desperately. So we started fundraising, and we got bids for that and started fundraising, and got that put in last October. That is 90% complete, because it's not totally complete, because we have to get the exits in place in the warehouse for them to hook up those last things.
Yeah. So everything else kind of has to come together before that one is completely finished.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's active. It works. We've had fire drills, and it is wonderful. It's very loud. There are flashing lights and all the things that we really needed to happen with that process.
Well, and so let's dive into, again, our guest in studio today. Stephanie Coonce is the Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services, our guest in studio for today. So we're here where we've got a plan from the architects. Just kind of remind us, you mentioned there's been a lot of back and forth about that plan. What have been some of the issues and challenges to get to where we're at right now?
I believe it's been a lot of engineering on how that roof line should be, how the 2 firewalls in that warehouse should meet the new roof line. That seems to be where a lot of the changes were made in the most recent set of plans. And I am not an engineer, and I know that there are a lot more engineers and people brought in to work those things out. So now we have that set. Now we actually need, engineers and construction people to actually look at that for us and to help us to determine, get bids on what our costs are going to be and what we're looking at. For the future, so we can start raising funds again and continue on on that path, so we can determine where we're going. We have decided, you talked about, the whole big picture is to do this in a phased plan. Obviously it's kind of the way it's just naturally worked out, but then we will look, we have a fire alarm system in, and we need to look at exits and lighting and also those walls. So it depends on, what the cost of that walls and how much work and time will be into putting those walls up in that warehouse to make those separation of spaces that they want, and how that next piece goes, whether it's one wall at a time, both walls, exits first.
This popped in my head as we were talking. This whole time you're staying open, you're providing services, you're not backing away from the things you do for those in need in our community.
Yes, we are. So we're open. Our services, our community day services, and our employment services program, 2 main programs for people with disabilities. So we provide programming during the day, depending on what the person would like, whether it's in our classrooms. We have 4 different classrooms that provide work opportunities and also educational things, leisure things. So, and part of that is our thrift store. That's the warehouse. And then also the back part of the warehouse is where our landscape crew keeps all of their stuff. And so that needs a good separation for the fire. So we can go out and, have you looked at the square recently?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Looks very nice.
Really good.
I drove around there last night actually, and I thought, wow, this looks really, really good.
Yeah.
I totally forgot driving around that you all did that.
Yeah,
so
that in the hospital. So, and we have a new crew, and I am thrilled with our new landscape supervisor, job coach. He is out there teaching people.
Who is it?
His name's Brandon Henley.
Okay.
Great guy. He's just been a natural teacher for working with the people that have no experience mowing and doing all the things, picking up the litter. He'll come in, I'm taking these people, and he goes out and they do their thing out there, and people want to go with him, which is, not been a thing in the past. And it's pretty exciting to see what's happening with the landscape crew.
Yeah, very good. So all services continue on. Okay, so you mentioned you've got a plan. What's the plan? What's it look like, and where do we go next?
Right. So the plan is to find out how much these walls and doors and lighting and things are going to cost.
Okay.
So we're going to find out what that costs, and then I would like to, at least in my ideal world this fall, start maybe in late fall. We'll see how it all rolls. I'm always overzealous when it comes to these things. It's to start at least some type of construction, whether it be one of the walls or working on those doors and exits.
Okay.
And get that, and then see, next spring, do the next one. And next phase, and then hopefully next fall, so we can have all those mitigation pieces. I would love to have them done in a year. And then we can start. We have other things with this growth that can happen by finishing those spaces that are created by the walls for our programming. Because our programming side, we have been growing in spite of all of this.
Wow.
We are serving more people. I had 3 referrals over the weekend for people who are interested in our services. So that means staffing. That means spaces for people to be where they need to be. So if we can then finish off, especially the front space that will be created with the front firewall, then we can, and bathrooms that are really needed, more people, that's a necessity. So we can be able to serve more and continue doing what we do.
Well, and I venture a guess you're probably one of the few agencies still providing the types of services that you do. I mean, I venture a guess Decatur, Bloomington probably have programs like this, but small rural communities, I don't venture a guess there's too many agencies that do what you do.
No, we are the only agency within, I believe it's 25 miles that does what we do, and we do it differently because we're smaller. There is a large agency in Decatur. Everybody's heard of MRI. They are great. But they are a very large agency and serve hundreds of people, whereas right now we serve a little over 50, and we don't plan on getting bigger. And so the way we do things is much different. We also have our employment where people work more than they do in a traditional workshop setting. So
that's another unique piece to your program.
Yeah.
Is that work piece.
Yeah. Our thrift store and going out there and going out, doing, learning the mowing side of things, and that are, there's so many things, so many jobs that we can create actually with the thrift store and teach people basic skills that they can either take to other jobs, or they can continue doing other things at Encore. Like that's what has happened some with this mowing crew. We've had a couple people that have been working in the thrift store and doing that stuff for a while. And we just said, hey, do you want to change? Do you want to learn something different? And so they shifted and are working outside now for the season and are learning new things and enjoying it. And so I think that's part of what we do, is that we reach out and we find out where the people are, and then we help them learn and grow, for what they need and what they want to do.
Sure. What did I miss in the conversation, particularly as it relates to the latest with the fire marshal stuff and the plan you've got in place moving forward? Did I miss anything in there you want to talk about, Stephanie?
I don't think so. Just we will be doing fundraising, so that will be crucial to making this all happen. So once we actually have numbers, we can reach out to the community. And I'll say, in the last fundraising for the fire alarm, we had great success in just reaching out, and in our little grassroots kind of fundraisers. We really had just people bringing in stuff, and that was very successful. We've also done some grant writing. I've done some other things like that have been meh.
Yeah.
A lot of right now, as I was reading just this morning, that an election year is very hard for fundraising and nonprofits. I think it's hard for a lot of those governmental type entities.
Yeah, all the money that flows through probably gets paused because of the election cycle. Plus, you've got donors probably donating to the
Other
candidates,
things,
and
yes.
so that makes sense.
So,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, maybe the grassroots efforts is more
hopefully.
fruitful this year.
Right.
Definitely. Well, Stephanie, if folks are interested in helping you out with that, or just learning about Encore in general, where do they go? Who do they call?
They can go to our website at encoreservices.org. They can go to encorethriftstore.com or call us 217-935-2218.
Stephanie Coonce is the Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services, our guest in studio. More to come with her on The Morning Show.
WHOW.
Your County Farm Bureau. Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn and beans higher at this hour. Wheat trading lower. September corn up 3 3/4, 407.5. December corn up 422. March corn 436 1/4, up 4. August beans 11.14 1/4, up 3 1/4. September beans up 8 1/4, 10.68.5. New crop November 10.74 1/4, up 10 1/4. September wheat 539.5, down 7.5. December wheat down 7 1/4. 563 3/4. August bean meal 350.80. That's up 7.40. August bean oil 45.42, down 60 cents. Livestock market at this hour. August feeders 257.37, up 1/4. August live cattle up 20 cents, 187.10. And August lean hogs 93.27, down $0.50. Energy market September crude oil 76.52. That's down $1.07. I'm Jim Taylor.
Chip Flory here, the host of AgriTalk, the nation's longest-running agriculture talk show. I'm here to remind our listeners on Central Illinois' agriculture station, WHOW, that you can hear our show weekday mornings from 10 to 11 on WHOW's many platforms. On the Big 1520 across Central Illinois, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County, and now on 106.5 FM in Logan County, and on the WHOW app. AgriTalk on WHOW.
Hi, this is Connie at Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton. Just in time for the heat of the summer, we have all our shorts and swimwear 20% off for the whole family. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for ways to save even more. Find us at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. It's greening up out there.
Time to work on my golf game.
And a perfect time to make that big move.
Like when my ball moves towards that tree. Oh, geez. 4.
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Call Utterback Real Estate or click the icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services, in studio with us. Stephanie, you were telling me in the break you need staff. What are you looking for? What do you need?
I am looking for 2 direct support professionals. And a direct support professional are our direct care folks. So they are the people that are actually doing the daily work in our programming spaces or our workspaces. It just depends on where we need you, and we try and cross-train everyone. So we have various classrooms. We have a retirement room for our older folks who just want to hang out, and they're generally, most of those people are over 60 or getting towards 60. We have a couple people who are in their mid 80s. And then we have, so that's a pretty quiet classroom. And then we have a big classroom that is full of people who do some work, and they also want to do classroom things and learning things. So that is our main classroom space where people are, it's active, it's loud, it's there's usually lots of music and lots of fun and excitement going on there. Lots of sorting. We have another room that is people who are more towards working more. They're sorting. So they're sorting the clothes you see in our thrift store. They're looking at the things that come in, whether and pricing them, whether they're good or bad, cleaning them, that kind of a thing. Also, that classroom loves to play games. So a DSP is doing those. They're like supervising those rooms, and also while they're in those rooms, they are taking care of them. So depending on the space, we have people that use wheelchairs and may need total care. We have, folks who may just need a little bit of help, judging their clothes when they need to, or helping feed people. We have your teaching people all those things that they need to, like if they're working on a skill or if there's a social situation. That's a big deal. Big thing that we deal with is teaching people, social norms, getting along with one another when we have people in a space. So a DSP, they're the heart of our organization and what it's about, and it takes a special person, to be that heart and that kind of the soul of, because when you're in your space, you are the one that is guiding what's going on, and that energy and that attitude of what's happening is based on those DSPs.
Yeah, the folks feed off of it, I'm sure.
Yes,
yeah.
very important.
Do you find, we hear so often about the challenges of hiring and finding, candidates and employees especially after COVID.
Yes.
Is that a challenge you're experiencing?
It's been hard. Actually, the last couple of times I've had spots, I haven't had to really advertise too much. I get a lot of people that come to me, but then also it's looking for those, that right person that's going to fit in with, the other coworkers and be able to do what we do. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, you're dealing with people who are angry or have, we have people who have a mental illness along with a developmental disability, and those things kind of go in tandem. So you're teaching people. So it's not like working at McDonald's. It's, and you get paid what you work at McDonald's generally, but it's not, but it's not just, it's teaching, and it is guiding other human beings into where they want to go. So it's, I just believe, working with people is one of the highest callings. It's more of a calling.
For sure. And you can't pay a lot, so it's
No,
really a
unfortunately.
labor of love at a lot of levels.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is that a challenge in the fact that you can't pay people
It's
well?
horrible. I hate it. My board hates it. And we all would love to pay them so much more because they deserve, because the skills, even though, like the requirements are like a GED, high school, plus the training, and even the direct support professional is not recognized like in the healthcare world as an official job title, an official job. So right now there's actually legislation going through to make that an official job title.
What's that now? I'm sorry.
It's an official, not title, but it's an official job. So it'll be recognized by the government as an official.
Oh, okay.
Official thing. So kind of like a CNA. And I mean, I have people come to me. It's like, well, DSP is not a CNA. And I'm like, it's not less. A DSP is not less than a CNA. You still get training. You still it's different from a CNA.
Yeah.
It's a totally kind of different position.
It's a different interaction,
Yes.
But
Yes,
still working with people, no doubt. And I'm sure if you could pay more, you could find,
I would love
really
to.
good candidates.
Yes.
Not to say that the candidates you
Right.
get aren't
No,
good,
and
but
my staff right now are amazing. I'm thrilled with the way they have really bonded together and have gotten through some kind of rough times.
Sure.
And the flood we had back in the winter.
Didn't even mention that.
No, there's been things, and then also just the normal life. And so they're really strong. And finding the right people to match that strength that we have now is what I'm looking for.
Well, Stephanie, let's wrap it up today. Tell me about your sale at the thrift store. What's going on today?
Yeah, the thrift store. Thrift store is doing great. I mean, it's been bulging. It's been fantastic. So there's so much stuff. But right now they're having Christmas in July, 50% off. But at Encore, it's not just Christmas; it's all the holidays. So you can come and get any holiday item that you could find and in the building. So whether it be Halloween, if you're excited about that, Valentine's Day, whatever, it's 50% off.
All day or
all through the rest of the month.
Through the rest of the month.
Yes.
Go check it out. Very good. Well, Stephanie, where do folks go to learn about all things Encore Developmental Services?
They can go to www.encoreservices.org.
That is Stephanie Coonce, Executive Director of Encore Developmental Services. Our guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance. Network News is now.
WHOW.